A young English guy is on a ship, going to a distant island in the South Atlantic. He's going to work as the weather observer there. Lost in thought, Captain Axel, a very experienced sailor, walks over with a cigarette and tells him they're almost at their destination. It's September 1914 when they reach this empty island. There's no one to greet them. It's just them. This young man is supposed to replace another weather expert who was already there. But there's no sign of this person. So, Captain Axel and our young friend start a small adventure to find out what happened to the missing weather expert. Hoping he's fine, they find a lighthouse, which seems like it could hold secrets, or maybe even ghosts. They knock but no one answers. Not giving up, the young man opens the door and who do they see? Gruner, the signal man. But he's not happy to see them. It's strange because he's not wearing any clothes. When Captain Axel asks about the weather observer they're replacing, Gruner, very calmly, says the man died from a disease called typhus. He doesn't seem upset. After this odd meeting, Captain Axel and the young Englishman leave the lighthouse. The captain has to go back, leaving our young man to explore the island alone. He's facing a year ahead of him, focusing on the weather, just like the person before him. But when he gets back to his cabin and starts to unpack, he finds something that changes everything. It's the diary of the previous weather observer, a guy named Aldor. Inside, there are drawings, a photo of Aldor's wife, and even a sketch of the lighthouse with strange creatures around it. The next day, our young weather guy finds circles of rocks on the beach. Curious, he takes his telescope and goes closer to the water to start his work. Through his telescope, he sees Gruner, the signal man, outside with no clothes, looking like he's just hanging out. But at night, things get really scary. Imagine being alone, reading, when you start hearing weird noises outside. That's what he experiences. At first, he thinks it's just Gruner playing tricks. But then, the noises become louder, like scratching and growling. Everything goes quiet, and suddenly, a scaly hand comes in under the door. He steps on it, and whatever is outside does not like that. Hearing more of them, he quickly hides under the floor. These strange visitors start hitting his cabin, trying to get inside. He sees them through a small gap, and when one tries to look inside, he stabs its eye with a knife. Really scared, he stays hidden in his secret spot all night. In the morning, he's really worried. He calls Gruner, hoping to get into the lighthouse for safety. But Gruner doesn't want to help. Driven by fear and wanting to be safe, our weather guy goes back to his place. He spends the day making his cabin super strong and finds a gun, which makes him feel a bit better. When it gets dark, he sees shadows as creatures start to come close to his cabin. He's ready with his gun, fighting them off one by one, but there are too many. As a last try, he sets a fire, hoping to scare them off. It works, but his shelter starts to catch fire. He runs, but then it starts to rain, saving what's left of his cabin from being totally destroyed. The day after his big fight with the creatures, our young weather guy sees Gruner coming out of the lighthouse. Curious, he quietly follows him down to the rocky beach. Just as he's about to surprise Gruner, suddenly, a sea creature attacks. She's blue, female, and very strong. Our guy quickly points his gun at her, but Gruner shows her weaker side to make him stop. Taking this chance, the young man offers to share his food and stuff with Gruner if he can stay safely. Gruner agrees and introduces him as a friend to the sea creature to make peace. They go together to get the supplies, and that's when our weather guy finds out something shocking. The previous weather observer didn't die from a disease. It was these sea creatures that caused trouble, but they can't think about that now. Gruner says they need to hurry back to the lighthouse with their things before it gets dark. Afraid of another attack, the way back is hard, and our guy is so tired he faints. When he wakes up, the sea creature is gently trying to make his burns better by licking them. He's been out for 2 days. Once he's feeling better, he and Gruner check how much ammo they have left. Gruner talks about the sea creature, calling her a toad, saying she's like a loyal dog that stays with its owner no matter what. Our guy is really interested in her, thinking she's very different from the others. But Gruner warns him, saying her quiet and calm might be hiding something more. Later, Gruner shows him around the lighthouse, even taking him to the top, making our weather guy wonder why Gruner decided to stay on this island, especially when he could have left with the new guy's arrival. Gruner tells our weather guy straight up that he doesn't plan to go back to the regular world. He likes being free and in charge here. But our young guy still hopeful, says he'll leave on the next ship. Gruner, not really believing it, wishes him good luck. As time alone becomes normal, our weather guy sees how much he's changed quickly. While sorting his things, he's surprised by the sea creature. She's eating a candle, not knowing what it's for. He tries to teach her, but Gruner needs him and his gun for an upcoming fight. That night, under Gruner's lead, they get ready for an attack. Gruner shoots a flare into the sky to start a big battle. The female creature yells as lots of sea creatures run at them. Gruner shoots at them, but our weather guy gets scared, backs up slowly, and then faints, leaving Gruner to fight alone. In the morning, Gruner is mad at our weather guy for not helping. He sends him to get water, mad about the night before. When our guy comes back, he's shocked to see Gruner fighting with the sea creature. He leaves, upset by what he saw. Lunch is quiet, filled with awkwardness and guilt. But Gruner breaks the silence, hitting the table, telling our weather guy he's running out of chances. That night, during another attack, our weather guy gets too scared again. After this, Gruner decides to keep him away from the fight. On the balcony, Gruner leaves our young weather guy to face the sea monsters alone. Even with all the noise and calls for help, Gruner falls asleep. By morning, he's surprised to see our guy still alive, covered in blood and looking lost. As time goes on, they settle into a routine. Every night, the monsters attack, keeping them on their toes. The days blend together, but the nights are long and full of stress. Still, they find calm moments thanks to nature. They have their jobs. Our weather guy gets water, and Gruner gets their weapons ready. One day, our guy starts to think. He wonders if the monsters keep attacking because of the female among them, but he's confused about why she lets her own kind get hurt, and why sometimes they don't attack at all. Gruner doesn't care about the reasons. He just wants to get rid of them. Later, our weather guy goes back to his old ruined cabin for some personal stuff. In a mirror, he sees how much he's changed. He trims his beard, trying to remember who he used to be. On his way back, he finds a huge whale skeleton, showing how tough the island is. That night, surprisingly, there are no attacks. He thinks that sometimes waiting for a fight is worse than the fight itself. They use the quiet time to prepare for what's next. During a walk, he finally gets close to the sea creature. Touching her cold skin, he starts to like this quiet, strange creature. He names her Anaris, seeing her differently from Gruner, who uses her for bad reasons. One evening, Gruner asks our weather guy to play chess, adding a bit of normalcy to their lives. While playing chess, the young weather guy starts talking about his ideas on the sea monsters, but Gruner doesn't want to hear it. He tells him to focus on the game. Then Gruner thinks he sees a monster behind them and grabs his gun. Suddenly, they're attacked again. The monsters surprise them, and they have to run to the top of the lighthouse. They try to fight back with their guns, but the attack is too strong. They have no choice but to go up to the room with the big light, hoping the light will keep them safe. Gruner gets hurt by a bite on his foot. They lock themselves in, spending a scary night as the monsters try to break the glass to get in. Gruner, thinking they might not make it, sings a sad song about love until the morning when the monsters leave. The next day, the sea creature they call Anaris takes care of Gruner's injury in a weird but kind way. They're running out of everything, knowing they can't handle another attack. While looking around, the young man sees a ship far away. He tries to signal it with a flare, but Gruner holds him back. Anaris tries to help the young man, making Gruner leave angrily. The young man yells at Gruner, saying he's scared of being left alone to fight. Later, the young man tries a new way to talk to Anaris, showing her a small boat he made from a bone, hoping she'll understand what he means. She gets it and shows him a real boat hidden along the beach, away from the lighthouse. Happy about finding the boat, he tells Gruner, thinking maybe they now have a way to get out of their tough spot. Here, Gruner tells the young weather guy about the rowboat's story. It was owned by a Portuguese man who tried to get away from a shipwreck, but got killed by the monsters. Gruner also says the ship had dynamite, but he thinks it's all wet and useless now. When the young man wants to check out the shipwreck in a diving suit, Gruner says it's a very bad idea, but the young man spends an afternoon painting the boat, still hoping. Then, he sees Anaris having fun in the water. He starts to get close to her, almost like he's going to kiss her. Gruner sees this from the lighthouse and feels very jealous. Later, Gruner gives the young man a diving suit, which is a big surprise. Maybe he changed his mind after seeing the young man with Daenerys. Or maybe he's hoping the young man will fail because he's jealous. The next day, they go to the shipwreck. The young man, wearing an old diving suit, and Gruner, holding onto the rope that keeps them connected, set up a way to talk through tugs on the rope. Underwater, the young man finds the dynamite, but a baby monster surprises him, making him panic and pull the rope hard. Above water, Gruner is unsure if he should help or leave him alone. In a panic, the young man gets out of the suit and swims up. Gruner, maybe feeling bad or responsible, helps him get to safety fast. When they get back, they quickly look at the crate and see that only one box of dynamite is still okay to use. With winter coming, they decide on a bold idea. They want to get as many monsters as possible into the lighthouse and then blow up the dynamite, hoping to make them go away for good. But that night, nothing happens. No monsters attack. 3 weeks go by fast, and Gruner is getting restless, waiting for a big fight. One cold day, he's outside, very stubborn and cold, wishing for the monsters to come. The young man gets him to come inside and wait a little longer before using the dynamite. Another day, they wait for Daenerys to bring back lunch, but Gruner gets upset when she brings starfish instead of fish. He thinks she might have told the monsters about their plan. He gets so mad he even pushes the young man, saying they need a new plan. Leave the door open to trick the monsters into coming in. That night, they try their plan. The young man watches the door and Gruner is ready to blow up the dynamite. Time passes, and nothing happens. Gruner then makes Daenerys cry out, hoping her noise will bring the monsters. Suddenly, a monster attacks the young man by the door. He runs away and tells Gruner the monsters are inside the lighthouse. They panic as the monsters fill the place, but Gruner can't make the dynamite explode. The young man rushes to the top to fix the problem. Just in time, he gets it to work, setting off a huge explosion that gets rid of many of the monsters. After the first explosion isn't enough for Gruner, he plans a second one closer to the lighthouse. The explosion is so big it knocks both him and the young weather guy out. The next day, the young guy is worried about Gruner, but is happy when Gruner starts moving and even sings, sharing a special moment together. Near the lighthouse, things look bad. Gruner uses a spear to put an injured monster, or toad, out of its misery on the beach. When the young guy sees one monster had a necklace, he wonders if these monsters have their own way of living. Gruner gets mad at this idea and throws the necklace into the ocean. That night, they get ready for more trouble. The young guy hears Daenerys and the other monsters sounding very sad. Gruner then tells a story he's never shared. He found Daenerys as a baby, stuck in a net, and saved her. He thinks she owes her life to him, even though she's gone now. Gruner believes she'll come back. This story makes the young guy feel bad about how they've treated the monsters, but Gruner doesn't feel sorry. Hoping for rescue, the young guy puts stones and the bone boat he made on the sand. Gruner is focused on making another big explosion to keep the monsters away, but no attack happens that night. While cleaning up after Gruner, who's asleep, the young guy finds a wedding photo of Gruner with "Love, Love, Love" written on the back. The young guy realizes something big when he sees the photo. The lady in the picture is the same one from the diary. He figures out that Gruner was the first weatherman at the lighthouse. This shows him that Gruner, unlike what he thought, actually has feelings. Understanding this, the young man stops counting the days. He realizes their fight to survive has made them forget why they came to the island in the first place. There's no real job left, just the struggle to live. One day, when he's about to put the carved boat back in the sand, a young sea monster approaches him, with Daenerys and her group behind. He feels they want to make peace, but Gruner just wants Daenerys back and doesn't want to let go. He says, no one leaves Gruner, and goes back to the lighthouse. Then, Gruner shockingly shoots a flare at the young monster. Daenerys looks at the young man, her eyes showing doubt and sadness, and leaves with her group as Gruner keeps shooting. Upset and sad, the young man goes up against Gruner. Their fight gets worse until he stabs Gruner in the leg. But Gruner, really angry, tries to hit him with an axe. Trying to get through to Gruner, the young man uses his real name, telling him he's not a bad person. Gruner stops, saying, "Love, love, love," as if he remembers who he used to be. Then Gruner goes outside, looking at the stars. Sadly, the sea monsters get their revenge, and Gruner's life ends. Months pass, and finally, A ship arrives at the island with a new person to take the young man's place. The captain thinks the young man is Gruner and is shocked by the strange life he's been living. The young man doesn't correct him, feeling like he's taking over Gruner's role and his difficult past. Now, as the new Gruner, he looks out from the balcony, seeing boats on the water. Anaris jumps into the sea, happy to be free. The young man, who once wanted to run from his own problems and find peace on the island, ends up stuck in never-ending trouble. The rest of the world is close to war, showing that you can't just run away from chaos by going somewhere far away. In trying to find peace, he learns a tough lesson. Life means nothing without love, and there's no hope or humanity without it. The true peace he was looking for wasn't just about being away from noise, but about understanding and accepting love, even in the worst situations. As his story wraps up, it's clear that love is the real answer, the only thing powerful enough to change a nightmare filled with monsters into a peaceful place. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this.